Hey, how's it going? Let me know if you have any questions about your unique carb tolerance. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have, or if you need help, I'll be happy to see what I can do to help you understand what's going on. So, this week we're going to talk about sleep and blood sugar. And I have one super important tip if you are a woman or a man over 40. If you're over 40 years old, you want your sleep. You have to get your sleep. Sleep is the time that you produce what's called the growth hormone. And your body produces growth hormone, and this is a critical anti-aging hormone. So if you want to regenerate your cells at night, try to make sure that you get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. Because I hear people all the time that are sick, but they only sleep 4 or 5 hours a night on purpose. And people need their sleep. This is where your body does its healing work, its best work. So let's talk about 4 of the hacks to better sleep. Of course, there are many, many more, and I share tips all over the place on how to get better sleep. But I just wanted to narrow this down to, 4 of them. Excuse me, 5 of them for right now. No, 4 of them. I can't remember what I did. There's so many of them. Anyway, let's just keep rolling. 4 blood sugar hacks for better sleep. Come on. Okay, the importance of sleep. Maintaining a normal blood sugar balance is extremely important if you want to avoid long-term health issues. Blood sugar imbalances can lead to serious health concerns such as diabetes and kidney disease, and many more. When blood sugar is not balanced, it also leads to weight gain and dysregulated sleep. When sleep is disrupted, this in turn pushes us further into imbalance. You can't master your blood sugar without sufficient sleep due to the relationship between insulin and cortisol hormones. If your insulin cortisol relationship is too out of balance, for example, you will likely have trouble with both too high and too low blood sugar. Especially if you've been dealing with chronic stress issues. The number one blood sugar balance tip before bedtime. If you have trouble falling asleep, that's where I'm at. You may have overshot your carb tolerance. Eating too many carbs or too much sugar raises your blood sugar. So eat a balanced dinner and consider herbal teas like passion flower, chamomile, valerian, and holy basil, which are excellent for promoting sleep. There's some excellent teas on the market that have all of these ingredients that I highly recommend that you have a cup or a double cup, even 2 tea bags of it. If you're suffering from insomnia, this helps me tremendously. I also have a sleep optimizer supplement that's in the resources page of my website that, if you want to go the supplement route, but I highly recommend the teas. They work just as well. Now, if you have trouble staying asleep, blood sugar may be too low. So have a healthy snack before bedtime and make sure your snack contains protein, fat, and only a small amount of carbohydrates, like a few bites, maybe even 1 bite of a sweet potato, or I would say only like a slice of apple. And then have like a tiny, tiny piece of turkey, like maybe a half a slice to one slice of turkey deli meat, because turkey also has other ingredients that can help you stay asleep. Or you could have a little bit of turkey and maybe some, one or two almonds with it. Now I'm talking like just a tiny snack. So make sure it's well-rounded. You could also have maybe a little bit of turkey and some, a quarter avocado, like a couple avocado chunks. And this will help you stabilize your blood sugar and keep it stable through the night and prevent you from frequent waking. And you can also consider herbal teas again, the valerian, licorice, chamomile, passion flower, lemongrass, and skullcap. And we talked about teas earlier, so that tea can do a double whammy. It can help you go to sleep and also stay asleep for the full 7 to 8 hours. Number 2, support your adrenal glands. Adrenal support. Adaptogens such as rhodiola, ashwagandha, and holy basil are good options for general adrenal support. If your cortisol is low, licorice root, pantothenic acid, which I believe is B6, ginseng, and hydrating with electrolytes may be useful. If your cortisol is high, magnesium glycinate before bed or omega-3s and calming herbs such as passion flower are excellent choices. And again, rhodiola, ashwagandha, and holy basil. I take a little supplement that has those in it, along with a few other things. I also take magnesium glycinate before I go to bed. I take omega-3s right before I have dinner. And the teas that we've been talking about, they have the passion flower, and some of them even have the rhodiola and the ashwagandha. So what I'm trying to do is point out the different ones, but they can be all encompassing in just one tea. So when we're talking about teas earlier, you can actually start with one tea bag in there. If that doesn't help, then do 2 tea bags in 1 cup of hot water. And that way, you're getting a double dose, but you're not getting double water, because you don't want to have to wake up to go to the bathroom before you go to bed, or, while you're sleeping. So number 3, boost your GABA and your serotonin. These are neurotransmitter hormones. Blood sugar balance is a key influencer of your neurotransmitter levels in your brain. This means that even if your sleep is a result of low serotonin or GABA levels, correcting your blood sugar balance will go a long way in fixing these problems. GABA and serotonin are the brain's natural wind down and calming hormones. Hormones are chemical messengers, so it's got the calming chemicals. Having enough of these neurotransmitters will help you relax and calm down, countering the effects of cortisol dysregulation. So signs that you could have low GABA: anxiety, panic, or feelings of being overwhelmed for no reason. Inner tension, feeling of dread, knots in your stomach that are difficult to turn off, restlessness and an inability to relax, suddenly worrying or feeling guilty about things that shouldn't bother you or things that didn't used to bother you. Signs of low serotonin: feeling blue or feeling of depression that's coupled with guilt. Losing pleasure or enjoyment in things that used to make you happy. Feeling worse in overcast weather. Being more susceptible to pain or getting angry a lot faster than you used to, even without being provoked. So again, herbal teas, as you work towards improving your insulin cortisol relationship, increasing your GABA and serotonin will go a long way in helping you sleep better. My favorite strategy, again, is using nighttime herbal teas. Herbs such as valerian, lemon balm, chamomile, passion flower work on GABA mechanisms in the brain. Teas are typically low dose. You can work around this by starting again, try one, and then you can do 2 bags and increasing to 3 or 4 bags if you need it. It's better to have one strong cup versus waking up to use the bathroom. I also like Pharma GABA by Designs for Health whenever I need an extra boost, and I have a link to that on the resources page in my under full script on my resources tab on my website, TamiJerseyRoberts.com. But I believe the tea is going to go a long way. Number 4, create a bedtime ritual. Oh my goodness, I have a morning ritual and a bedtime ritual, and I just look forward to it so much. I put my phone on mute and I just go into my own space. I love Epsom salt baths. They're relaxing and soothing to my muscles, and the Epsom salts have magnesium. I have one that I've shown in the Facebook group a couple of times. It has lavender and chamomile and some other good smelling essential oils in it. And journaling is an excellent bedtime ritual. It helps me clear my mind because that's one of the things that used to keep me awake. So I write down what I'm grateful for that day, and I write down, kind of a paragraph, an outline of what I'm going to do tomorrow. So I don't have to keep thinking about it. I put it on paper so I can take it out of my mind, and it just helps me sleep better. Practicing 2 to 3 yin yoga or restorative yoga poses before bedtime is another way I like to wind down. And I also avoid certain activities before bedtime, such as hanging out on my cell phone or other mobile devices. Like, I actually turn off all of my electronics in the house, including the Wi-Fi. So I don't have any of those EMF signals coming at me, and I can just completely relax. Sometimes I light a candle. I have essential oils diffusing. I turn the lights way down. I mean, it's just, I create a very, very peaceful environment. And the same activities like watching TV or checking your email before bed or checking Facebook can significantly interfere with your ability to wind down. As I said, I recommend you turn off all your devices and spend at least 30 minutes before bedtime journaling, practicing nighttime yoga, or reading. Herbal teas and supplements can be helpful too. It says I put 30 minutes because if you're not doing this at all now, 30 minutes is a good place to start. I actually do this sometimes for an hour and a half to 2 hours before I go to bed, just because I love it so much. It's so peaceful. So that's a wrap. I have lots and lots of other tips on getting a good night's sleep. So if you're still having trouble after you implement these techniques, please hit the help desk button, and I'll be happy to see if I can give you any suggestions if you're open to that, or just listen to your story and maybe we can both come to some conclusion on what would help you get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. Now, I didn't mention this earlier, but The ideal times for your body to be asleep are between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. I usually end up getting in bed between 9 and 9:30 because if I'm up past 9:30, my cortisol starts going up, and that's when the insomnia hits me. But again, that's just me. Everyone is different. And the body's ideal time cycles are between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. to get the most for your rejuvenation, your regeneration, your healing, and your wellness. So, again, if you have any questions, hit me up in the Facebook group or just hit the help desk button and I'll be happy to, you can email me from there. I'll be happy to help you with anything that I can. Peace and love.